Cheers and welcome to another episode of the Talking Shop podcast. This is season 3, episode 1. My name is Josh, coming at you from Grand Slam Cards in Rock Hill, along with Michael from at Medium Rare Cards over on Instagram, and helping us out behind the scenes. It's Cobb. How's it going, guys? I guess
it's good. It's good. I am excited. I have a little golf trip planned for the end of this week in sunny, hopefully sunny, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So looking forward to that. But before we get started, just a quick rundown. We're going to shake things up a little bit. If you've been listening to the podcast, you know that we've got this format that we've been sticking with. We're gonna mix it up a little bit for season 3. So we're gonna stick with the opening rip, where we talk about some news, some hobby news, some things going on in the sports world, and then we're gonna continue talking about what's headed to the shelves at Grand Slam. We're gonna break down some product for you a little bit, do a better job answering some questions that Josh gets about the product in the shop. And then this week we're talking about a hobby hangover from the National. I know that I'm feeling it. I think I'm feeling it just because I'm sick. You can probably hear it in my voice a little bit. I brought something back from the National other than cards, so I'm recovering from that. But talking about if the National is the end of the hobby season or the start of the hobby season. We've got one question from our listeners. Instead of doing card from the vault, we're just going to do some hits from the shop, and then we're going to wrap things up with crazy stat of the week. But first, Josh, did you see that Panini sued Fanatics earlier? I don't know if it was yesterday. And so here's the headline. Panini America alleges Fanatics has created a monopoly in the card industry. And then earlier today, I sent in the chat that Fanatics countersued Panini rejects the accusation of building a monopoly and accuses Panini of being incompetent.
And I said, they're both right.
I know.
Panini is incompetent, and Fanatics is creating a monopoly.
So I did a little research on what constitutes some antitrust. Not to get too nerdy on this, let me pull this up. I'm not going to put it up on the screen because I don't want to bore you too bad. But I wanted to find out really what constitutes why antitrust laws are in place, just so that we could have an intelligent conversation about this. So there are the main reasons why there are antitrust laws, or these laws are in place, is to protect competition, to prevent monopolies, to ensure customer welfare, to promote innovation, and to maintain a level playing field. So before you jump in, I want to say shame on Panini, because this is it's one of those cases to where if you live in glass houses, you shouldn't throw stones. Panini's had a freaking monopoly on the football and basketball and somewhat on the soccer market for years, until Fanatics is going to actually break up that monopoly and create their own. But what are your thoughts on that?
They could say they haven't had a monopoly because baseball is a huge part of the card collecting hobby, and they haven't had the rights there. So
yeah, but I'm with
Panini on this one.
I tend to disagree. I think that Panini, the reason why 2 years ago, and I know the hobby was exploding, but for them to charge $2,000 for a Prism football box, I don't think they would have been able to charge that if Topps was making football cards, and Topps Chrome Football was at $800 a box. They couldn't have done it.
Well, then I'll play devil's advocate. How much is one of those boxes worth at that time? And at this time, the product is worth as much as the value that you can pull out of it or the potential you can pull out of it. And so rated rookies were $20 a card instead of $2 a card. So the singles cards are going to be 10 times the amount. So the box prices are 10 times the amount. You can't blame Panini for charging $2,000 for a box if the cards inside are worth a fortune, which they were because of the explosion to the hobby. So I'm again with Panini on this one. Now, am I with Fanatics in the sense that Panini's incompetent and has done a lot of things wrong? Absolutely. I'm by far not a Panini fan. But when it comes to this monopoly part of it, they hit the nail on the head. Fanatics, and I think Fanatics would even, maybe they wouldn't outright say it, but they want to own, they've said they want to own the cards, they want to own the breaking, they want to own the grading, they want to own the storage of the cards. I mean, that's just textbook spelling out monopoly. We want to own it all. Then they control it. They're going to control who gets the product, because guess who gets the product? Those that are breaking on their platform. Now, so they're tying your hands that way.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, right? But soccer, I know that you hate soccer. Just, go ahead and cue up the sound effects there, Jacob. So soccer, both of them had licenses, similar licenses in the soccer, and for soccer products. And while football and basketball were going through the roof, soccer had its spike. But I think that Panini having soccer and Topps having soccer kept them both in check. And so,
well, those prices stayed down because nobody cares about soccer. That's
boo. That's not true. That's not true.
Did you have much luck selling soccer at the National? Did our friends that came with us have much luck selling soccer at the National?
No,
I'm just saying,
not on the national floor. Not on the national floor, but at the trade night I did. So it's a very niche market. I get it. But back to this story.
My first thought when I heard this story, my first thought was, well, I guess Fanatics ain't buying Panini, because it's always been this. Even when I talked to my distributor at the National, they said, from his own mouth, he said, I really hope Panini hangs on for a couple of years and doesn't just sell out to Fanatics, because that keeps things kind of normal with this distributor, which is one of the major distributors in the country, keeps them, just kind of rolling right along for another couple of years. He says, now, if Fanatics buys Panini, that speeds the whole process up, and then maybe there's a little bit of a scary time for distributors. But so I thought too, I'm like, well, for my sake, it would be nice if Fanatics doesn't buy Panini. And then I hear Panini suing Fanatics, and I think, whoo, well, they're not selling to them anytime soon, I don't think, right? Wouldn't you have that same thought?
Yeah,
they're probably not going to work out a friendly deal.
They're not. It's become very adversarial. And at this point, I think Fanatics is just messing with them at this point. I mean, I just don't think that. I don't think that Panini has the leg to stand up on, just because they've been operating as a quasi monopoly to begin with, and I just think Fanatics has the sort of organizational skills and resources to make this go away. So I don't think they've got a shot.
I still think if Panini says, how can you say we had a monopoly mentality when it was well known we had football and basketball and Topps had baseball? Because in my shelves, the shelves are split. Half of it's Panini product and half of it's Top products. And then not even that. And then you got a little section that's Leaf, because Leaf's a good player in this game as well. So I'm still arguing against Panini having a monopoly. Now, did they have a large share and a large chunk of the hobby? Without a doubt. Still do. But Fanatics literally wants all the licenses. And that's where it starts to get a little bit slippery. But I will say there is a thought to, what if Fanatics owns it all and they run it really well? Does it matter then? That's the other thing. If one guy is in control of a company, he's the boss and everyone works under him, he has all the power and they all answer to him. Well, nobody cares if he's a good, fair, honest boss.
Yeah.
Treats everyone right. Then it's not as big a deal. But when the big bad boss treats everyone like dirt and nobody can do anything about it because he's the boss, that's where the problem lies, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, people claim they love an underdog. People claim they hate monopolies. But I tell you, Tiger Woods had a monopoly going for about 15 years on the PGA Tour, and everybody should kiss the ring on that tour of Tiger Woods because of what he did. He brought golf to the forefront, and it exploded all the TV rights, all the salaries, whatever the players were making. People love a winner. And I think Fanatics, based on what they're doing and how quickly they pivot, they're a winner. I think there's a danger there as far as pricing, but if they want to grow this hobby, as Michael Rubin said, 10x, they're going to be very smart about it. And they're going to weed out this good old boy network that has been operating, and Panini has been taking advantage of that, not being innovative, putting out bad products. I mean, for goodness sake, Panini's still what, 8 to 10 months behind on their products, while Topps releases what could be the product of the year at the National. You know, which is a great example of great timing with a product. And so I think while there are dangers and everybody loves to, position them as the evil empire, that everybody loves these big, hates these big companies and their monopolies. I don't think anybody has a problem with Apple and Google and how big these companies are when they put out products that work and make life a little easier. So I think they're going to make, as a collector and somebody that loves the hobby, I think Fanatics is going to make things a little easier on us. So I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, and one thought when we used to. So if you're still kind of trying to understand all this, the idea about Fanatics buying Panini, well, a lot of people like me were saying, man, Fanatics really needs to buy Panini because when they do, then they can own the names National Treasures and Select and Prism, and they get all these things with that. If they don't buy Panini, what happens is Fanatics gets the football license in 2025 or 26, and Panini no longer can. Panini can still make National Treasures. They'll make it unlicensed, and they can still make Select, but they'll make it unlicensed. And so those products get a lot worse, and Topps makes theirs. So I've always been like, man, Fanatics really needs to buy Panini so they can get the National Treasures and they can get this. But here's a thought. We were talking about this today in the shop. If they don't buy them, here's what they're going to do, I would think. They're going to bring back Topps Chrome football and Topps Chrome basketball and really make those the premier flagship product for football, baseball, and basketball. And then you still got Dynasty, and you can do Topps Chrome Black football, Topps Chrome Black basketball, all these really cool baseball products that Topps can do. They can now do them in football and basketball. And they could make National Treasures and some of these other products irrelevant in the sense that if Panini continues and decides just to do unlicensed product, National Treasures is just going to have it'd still be good because if you've got some of these guys, Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow autographs that you can chase in National Treasures, even though the logos might be airbrushed. There's still some desirability to, but it's going to just push that premium Fanatics football product. And we just got to thinking about some of the really cool high-end baseball and basketball products that Topps does. And they can just convert those to football and basketball products and then make those the crown jewel of the hobby and market the heck out of them and add bounties and do whatever they want to do to really drive that product. So, and you really think about it, Topps/Fanatics can survive without Panini's name just fine, which is why I don't think they have a problem going blow to blow with them here in court.
Absolutely. All right, switching gears. Jacob, if you could pull this video up. Not sure if you saw this. I think everybody has seen this. Ramirez versus Anderson. Ramirez steals a base. We're going to pull this up. steals the base, slides in, and they have words. And then I'm just going to let the video play.
Not in time. He just missed him at second base. This is another rocket of a throw, and now, oh boy. Now, oh my goodness. Here come the benches. Off we go. It started with Anderson and Ramirez.
Rain's got some noodle legs there.
And everybody's spilling out here in Cleveland. Here's how this started on the throw to second base.
Yeah,
Ramirez,
I love this angle here. So, I mean, I'm not even sure what happened here.
And Ramirez says, get out
and they just start jawing.
Well, then
and if you look at this is why you don't mess around.
Kind of started things.
Right there, you just, I mean, there's different angles here. You never know, right? And he just barely gets clipped. He gets clipped, and I think I just saw something that Anderson gets 6 games, and Ramirez gets 3 games.
Anderson sure looked like the instigator of the fisticuffs.
Yeah.
But Ramirez got the blow in there. They don't show it in this one. I saw another angle where the White Sox guys are kind of leading Tim Anderson away a little bit.
And he's all wobbly.
And he was jello legged. He got that one shot on the chin. I love this stuff. This stuff doesn't happen enough to me, I don't think.
So real quick, we are a sports card podcast. We are a hobby podcast. We're not a sports podcast. So let me pivot this a little bit. What does this do for card values for Jose Ramirez, and what does this do for card values for Tim Anderson?
I think maybe it inflates Ramirez's stuff for just a hair. Those, you get behind your fighter. Ramirez took him down. Some of those Indians fans maybe grab some of his stuff because they get behind their guy, but I don't think nothing long term, I'm sure, but
so
maybe
it'll be
spike
because there's a cool card. It's the Robin Ventura Nolan Ryan card, right? It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see if there's a Stadium Club card of this.
So here you go. If there's not one of Odor punching Joey Bautista, then there won't be one of this one, because and I loved Joey Bats. I thought that dude was cool, but he got his bell rung. Didn't get wobbly legged. You got to give him credit for that. He took it square in the face. But if there's not a card of that one, I don't think there'll be a one. They don't want to shine a spotlight on that. I think the Nolan Ryan Ventura thing is so long ago and so iconic that maybe they're okay shining a light on it. But is there really a Stadium Club card of those? Because I never saw that one. If there was,
I have no clue. It was all over Instagram today. Somebody mocked up a Tops Now card for this moment, and it would never happen. Like you said, they don't want to promote fighting, but
right.
It'd be cool. All right, Josh, what is coming to the shelves at Grand Slam this week?
So a couple of really cool products. Probably the most talked about is National Treasures Football. That comes out Wednesday. For those of you who aren't super familiar, this is about as high as it gets for football product. I would say the most desirable. I'll give you a little product rundown on it. Cases have 4 boxes per case. Each box, like for instance, this is 2022 National Treasures Football. Again, I know we're in the 23 season, the 23 product is coming out, but this is Panini. So 2022 National Treasures is just coming out now. So this is the Kenny Pickett. This is the Brock Purdy rookie class. The boxes, I think they're around $3,500 a box, and that's per box for 8 cards. So you're getting 8 cards, 6 of them are hits. In other words, 6 autographs or memorabilia cards. There's 1 base card / insert card, and there is 1 parallel card. So 8 cards, 6 are the chasers you're after, and really just the bottom 2 or 3 cards are where the money's at typically. This is, you remember the previous podcast, we talked about the true RPA. This is what the product comes out of, this National Treasure. So the vertical, numbered to 99, rookie patch auto is the premier RPA for the players, and it comes out of this product. So we're not getting a lot of this product because it's pricey. There's just not a lot of people out there that pay $3,500 for 8 cards, but we will have some on Wednesday. Any comments on that product, Michael, before we move on to the next?
I wish I could afford this product, and then I'd have more comments about it. Literally, the only time I buy National Treasures is I'll buy a single or two of the college product, the college National Treasures, because the price point's so much lower. But this is your ultimate high risk, high reward product from Panini. I mean,
here's the problem.
Even with a product, even with a not so stellar rookie class of, I mean, like Brock Purdy and Pickett and some of these highly touted rookie wide receivers are holding up this product. You know, you get the right pull out of this product, and it's you know, a 5-figure, 6-figure card, life-changing money, like you said. But with that said, you could pull, you know, what you said, these are $3,500 a box.
Yeah.
I mean, if you open up, I've seen people open up a National Treasures box and pull $800 worth of cards. And so, but some people love that chase, and it's a great product to watch somebody else open. Let me just put it that way.
Yeah. And again, this is a product that, because of breakers, can be sold for $3,500 a box. If breakers did not exist, there's too few people out there that can spend $3,500 on a box to open for 8 cards. The hobby corrects itself, and these are $800 boxes.
Right.
It's just what it is. Without breaking, these are $800 boxes. And just like any box, a good box, you'll recoup $400 or $500 of your $800. On a great box, you'll break even. On a really good, great box, you'll make some money. And on a bad box, you'll lose, you know, 500 of the 800. So that's the problem here. Your breakers have priced this so high that you have to hit a low numbered Brock Purdy or Kenny Pickett auto to even break even. So tread carefully. This will be, again, that's why breakers exist for this product, and that's why this price exists for breakers. But we're going to go on to the next product, which is not a breaker's dream. This is a hobby man's dream. This is the fun stuff to open. This is what we're all about. Also on Wednesday is Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary. This is, believe it or not, as we just got done praising Topps and Fanatics, this is 2022 Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary. So this product is a product that has a throwback design. Wasn't last year 1952 design?
Yep, the Mickey Mantle rookie card year. Yes, 52. Yep. This is 53.
This will be 53 design.
Yep. A little more artwork involved. I mean, it looks like they look like pieces of art. They look like paintings, which I love. You know, it may not be for everybody. As Josh just said, this is 2022. So this is not Corbin Carroll, Adley Rushman. This is the Wander Franco rookie year set of rookies. Excuse me.
Here's here's another nice part about this. They're releasing hobby boxes and light hobby boxes. I'm pretty confident on my pricing, so I can say it. I think our light hobby boxes will be $69.99 in the shop Wednesday, and our hobby boxes will be $109.99. So again, it's a great product, a fun rip, doesn't break the bank. You're not guaranteed autos in these, right? Is that correct? But they do.
No, you are in the hobby box.
In the hobby,
guaranteed.
You are.
One auto, but not in the hobby light boxes. In the hobby light boxes, you're looking for the mini diamond parallels, which is exclusive to the Hobby Light boxes. But it's a beautiful set. One of the neat wrinkles about this set, it's got while the base checklist is monstrous, it's 500 cards. There are some legends in this set, and some of the autos of these legends. I looked up last year's highest sale of last year's product, and it was an Ichiro auto, and that sold on eBay best offer. It was over $3,000. So there is a high ceiling for this. It's I think the fact that it's not this year's rookie class is keeping that price down. We've talked about this on the podcast before. Anytime you can get a hobby box in that $100 range, that's a good deal, and it's a fun rip. And these are beautiful cards. So stop by the shop and get that. Josh, before we move on, I do want to bring this up. Topps on their website, and this is just a heads up for guys that look for pre-orders on the Topps website. And this one specifically was a soccer product, and it's 2023 Topps UEFA Champions Chrome Sapphire. This is going to be a beautiful, coveted, in-demand product, and Topps actually partnered with, is it EQL, which is a service that, for all intents and purposes, keeps bots away. So you register with EQL. If your name gets drawn out of the hat, then you get the opportunity to buy one box and one box only. Thoughts on this, Josh? Do you think this is a good thing?
Yeah,
Do you think this is, much needed?
Yeah, I like it. Anything that can combat the bots a little bit. I do think it would. I would like to know, do they go down that list kind of first come, first serve? And when it runs out, I would like to think there's not some sort of preferential treatment. Everyone gets a fair shot. If it's just purely to combat bots, maybe most everybody that registers will end up getting a chance to buy a box. I like it. It's a lot of hoops to jump through. I hope they don't do that with a lot of product, but special stuff like this, I really like the idea of it.
Yeah. I got the notification yesterday that this was going to open up at 11 a.m. today. I was tied up in meetings, did not get back to this link until 2 p.m. And it had already closed out. And I don't know if it's already closed out because of product or it was just a certain time window. I think they said the time window was only 2 hours to enter the EQL system. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to start doing this in lieu of maybe like what's the membership there? The Montgomery Club membership. I know that traditionally, if you are a Montgomery Club member, then you get access to Sapphire and some other products that other people don't. Maybe they do this instead. I don't know. So,
yep.
All right.
Yeah, I like it. We got another product coming that comes out on Wednesday. It's right up both of our alleys, even though I don't collect this. I'm a big fan, but 2023 Topps Star Wars comes out Wednesday. 7 cards per pack, and no guaranteed autos. I'm sure they're sprinkled in. The box break, you get 1 wide vision box loader per box and 48 inserts per box. So this is another, I think I said $69 a box. Just another fun hobby rip for Star Wars fans. There are short prints. There's like I said, a ton of inserts. There are autographs. So yeah, not one we carry a ton of Star Wars product, but another one we'll have on Wednesday. We're in this little lull here of products. I think the next week or two is a little bit light. Today at Grand Slam Cards in Rock Hill, because we are a sanctioned store, we started selling Pokemon Obsidian Flames, the newest set. So we've actually had a really good day in the shop because we've been selling that from the moment we opened up. If you're a Pokemon fan, come down and grab some. We'll have it today. We'll also have another wave coming in the middle of the week, so that we plan that so we don't run out. And if you don't come until Wednesday on a release week, you can still get your hands on some. So that's what launched today and what is coming this week.
Star Wars product, a good comp for the Star Wars product is Top Series 1. You'll hear some folks say that this is the Star Wars flagship product. So it's an entry-level product. It's not chromium stock. It's going to be paper stock, but you will have foil, the same sort of rainbow foil, gold foil. It looks like, according to this checklist, they don't have the full checklist, but there's going to be image variations, which I love. And if these paper products, especially the parallels, if they grade out at a PSA 10, they're highly collectible. So while there's a low price point to this, there is definitely a bit of a ceiling, a higher ceiling on this. Number one, the IP of Star Wars, and number two, if you happen to get some stuff in good shape that's gradable, then there's some potential there. So,
yeah,
all right,
yeah, they do it. They do a Topps Chrome in this product, but this is not the chromed out version.
All right. Next, behind the counter. I don't know if we're going to call it behind the counter, but I'll introduce it. So, Josh, we are a week out from the National. The title to this, the thumbnail to this, was a hobby hangover for suffering from a hobby hangover. Now, Josh, you've never had a hangover, correct?
I don't drink, never have, so I've not had a hangover.
Have you had a Red Bull hangover?
I haven't. I have had a hobby hangover though. I feel like when I get back from the National, I didn't have enough time to look through everything.
Yeah.
You want to look through some more. You just barely scratched the surface, I feel like. And the one thing you can't do at this show, because it's so busy, is you can't have really meaningful connections with the sellers behind the table to ask them about maybe some of the stuff that's on the floor or the stuff that's not showcase worthy. Because I was looking for Brady Spellbounds. You know those cards. These right here, the Brady Spellbound cards. I'm always looking for these, and you aren't going to find those in people's showcases, but I know people have them there behind the counter in a box of stuff. And so I just get the hangover in the sense of, man, I didn't get to take advantage of everything I wanted to. And now I got to wait a year to go back and do it again.
Well, I'm a nerd, so I actually looked up the definition of hangover, and this is what I found. A hangover can refer to the after effects or consequences of engaging in any activity or event that has left an individual feeling physically or mentally drained, fatigued, or suffering from negative consequences.
Like spending too much, maybe?
Or just overstimulation. Just, it's just cards for 4 or 5 days in a row. And so I think whatever I am going through, whatever other collectors that went to the National are going through, it is certainly considered a hangover, maybe even an emotional letdown, just because it was just adrenaline every day. I am going through a bit of a hobby hangover. I know other content guys that I'm following, there's a little bit of a letdown, a little bit of a hangover. But one of the reasons why I brought this up is wanted to ask you this, Josh. Is the National like the new either start or end of the hobby season now? Is that how we need to start looking at it?
If it's one of the two, I think it would be the start. If it's not either of those two, it might be like the little shot of adrenaline halfway through. It kind of feels like that because it's halfway through the physical year. So it does feel like it gives a little shot in the arm. We had Thursday, Friday, and Saturday when we were gone. The store was really busy. And I got to thinking, I'm like, well, man, anyone that's into cards that didn't go to the National probably follows all these guys on social media, or they've got their favorite breakers they post with who are at the National. So there's just a really heavy card presence on your social media feeds and on your phone. And so I think that just shines a big spotlight on the hobby during that week. And then the people that don't go to the National come into the local card shops and do some spending, because we had a really strong week while we were gone. And I think that's some of it for sure.
Yeah, I think I'm a little torn about whether or not it's the end of the hobby season or the beginning, because there's such a buildup to it. It almost feels like, a month out from the National almost feels like the day after Thanksgiving. And it just builds till Christmas. And I feel like there's this buildup where, and even the stuff I was trying to sell on eBay, even that buying on eBay sort of slowed down in preparation for the National. And then boom, you have this National and then the letdown. So I'm a little torn whether or not it's actually the end or the beginning of the hobby season. What I will do in the future is probably plan on, this will affect the way that I buy and sell cards, is I will instead of looking at the beginning of the football season or the beginning of baseball season or basketball season, that's taking a back seat for me. I think now that I've been to the National and see what people put out there, I really think that my buying and selling patterns are going to be more focused towards that singular event. Because I don't know if you've seen it continue in the shop, but and I don't have any inventory left on eBay because I sold it all at the National. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you could chime in on if you've seen a spike in the velocity of things being purchased on the eBay store for the shop. Have you seen any difference since the National?
Yeah, I think there's an uptick for sure. Like I said, I just think it shines a big spotlight on it, kind of rejuvenates some collectors, myself included. You walk around and you see all the different collections that other people have or some of that stuff, and it kind of fires you up about your own collection a little bit. Just gets you thinking, man, these guys that are selling these cards. Also, just seeing that the hobby is super alive and well gives you a little bit more buying confidence or selling confidence. So we're a little bit in the same boat. Our eBay took a dip after because we sold so much of that inventory at the National. And so we're in kind of reload mode now. But the stuff we're putting on there selling, I say business has been pretty strong since we've been back too. This last weekend was really strong. So yeah, I'm in agreement.
I will say this. Timing was great on two fronts. I've mentioned this before. Topps Chrome baseball knocked it out. That should be a yearly release at the National. No questions asked. That they should just plan on that. And the fact that preseason football is about to start or has already started. Those two sports are sort of holding up the hobby because basketball's still down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, just the timing of the season. But I tell you, there was still Kobe, Jordan, LeBron, and the GOAT.
Basketball buying had a good presence at the show. I heard more than one person say that basketball they were selling really well at the National.
Well, I do want to move on from this. If you are having a hobby hangover, let us know. Let us know how you're dealing with that, how you're getting over that. I'd be interested to know.
And we see all of the comments, even if you post it. Sometimes you think like the YouTubers, they say, oh, comment on the post. Well, this isn't live, so you're not going to see this. Every comment gets emailed to me. So I see all the comments. We laugh about the mean ones too, but right, Jacob?
So I think we have one question. Jacob, if you could post that question, a listener question. And this is from the National. How was the etiquette or mood of the attendees and the dealers at the National? Josh, I'll let you go first on this one.
Yeah, that's funny that this question comes up because it was so apparent to me that I think I even made a comment on it, or we talked about it, but it was like everyone was like super polite and nice. You get that many people in that space all battling for money and buying and selling and flipping and negotiating. You'd think there would be some blow-ups or some fights or something, but I remember thinking like everyone that I run into is so nice, and every dealer was like surprisingly nice, and the customers beside me talking, everyone was super nice. So that was really noticeable to me. I don't know if you noticed the same thing, or if you saw something, anybody getting into it, or
I didn't see anybody get into it. I did notice some of the dealers that did not have a lot of traffic at their tables. They seemed, and this is natural, right? I'm being Captain Obvious here, but they were a little crotchety. And it's because some of these dealers that had zero traffic, zero people stopping by, and it was probably, heads up dealers, that was probably because you were overpriced on your stuff. But they would be right beside a table that was 3 or 4 deep. And they were buying and selling and having a great time. So that was the only sort of negative stuff that I saw. I'll echo what you said. I'll echo what you said. Everybody, and I don't know if this is the hobby in general. I used to say like golfers, for the most part, nice folks, right? I think for the most part, the hobby, if you took a cross section, it's a lot of nice people. You know, you're not going to get, you're going to get, in any population, 2% of those people are going to be complete tailholes. But, 98% of the folks at the National this year were very pleasant. And I think it's a big part of it's because they were just happy to be there. And so they were just super grateful, super happy to be there.
Yeah, I mean, you about couldn't put a card out the National properly priced and it wouldn't sell. So I mean, that helps too when the dealers are selling and selling and selling and everything's easy to sell. I'm sure, because I stood behind the booth table for like 30 minutes total the whole time, and probably got asked 5 times in that 30 minutes if I was buying. And I wasn't there to buy, so I just said no, I'm not set up. I'm just watching the booth for someone. But they get that question probably 20 times an hour all show long. And that gets old. So you got to do your best to just hang with it. But a lot of 12 to 15-year-olds running up to are you guys buying? Are you guys buying? Are you guys buying? And that's got to get old. And I still didn't see anyone get rude about that. It seemed like everyone was still really polite. They would say, "Hey, sorry, no, not at this time," or "Leia, let me take a look. Okay, now I appreciate you bringing them by." Our inside joke the whole time was these people that put up the sign at card shows that says, "Always buying cards and collections." I'm like, well, yeah, duh. That's everybody on planet Earth is always buying, because the price has to be right and the card has to be right. Then of course everybody's buying. So we laughed at how those are so deceiving. It's just, you can put that sign up there and then you don't have to buy anything if you don't want. But you've got this big sign that makes you look like a big baller because you're always buying. So I wanted to say, when someone says, "Oh, no, thanks for bringing those by, but we're going to pass." But wait, your sign says always buying. So I guess you're only buying if the card's right and the price is right. Someone needs to make a sign. Someone needs to make a sign that says easier to sell to than everybody else. That's the sign that would draw attention.
Well, let's get that.
Because I've seen a guy with a sign that says buying collections, buying cards, turn down 5 people in a row, bringing stuff up, looking at it. No, thank you. Well, I guess you're not always buying then. So that's
well, we have it on we have it on record now. We'll have that sign ready for next year.
Oh, but then you have to be able to back it up. So easier to sell to than most people. I don't know. There's got to be a clever sign that works better than always buying. Because wouldn't you buy if someone brought a Mickey Mantle rookie card up to you? You'd buy a Mickey Mantle rookie card if it was $100, right? A $10,000 card for $100? No.
Is this a
you'd always buy? So you're always buying also, right?
Always.
You are always buying, right?
At
As
the
long
price
as the
that I
price is
want
right
to at the price that I want to pay. All right. A little departure of what we normally do because Josh has finally run out of Tom Brady cards to show off.
Oh, I haven't. I'm just sparing you.
No. You said that you had run out and you have to get some more. So we are going to go straight to hits from the shop. But before we do that, I do want to remind folks, if you are in the Rock Hill, South Charlotte area, on August 19th, we are having Card Night 3 from 4 to 9. Where's the location, Josh? What was the name of the church?
Woodhaven Baptist. It's 3 minutes from the shop. It's on Merritt Boulevard. The information, reach out privately, or the information is all over social media. We'll be advertising the heck out of it some more. We've already been selling tables on the social media post. You can click a link, pick out whether you want a 6-foot table or an 8-foot table, pay for it. That'll give me all your information. That way it's already done and people can stop stiffing me on tables too. That's part of the reason we're doing this is people reserve tables and then never show up. So we're going to get the money ahead of time, but they're cheap, $15 and $20 tables. It's a fun night. If you are a Pokemon buyer or seller, come to this, set up at this. We want to have a nice, large Pokemon presence. But yeah, we are a week and a half away from it. So
awesome.
It's going to be fun.
So August 19th, be there. I'll be there. It should be an excellent time. Josh, hits from the shop.
Yep. So keep in mind, we don't get all the cards that were pulled from the shop, but these are some that get opened in the store. So we try to snap some pictures of it. A lot of this will be Topps Chrome because we had a lot of Topps Chrome open this past week. But this is sweet. It's a manga out of Prism. Don't sleep on Prism Panini Baseball. But a Cal Ripken manga. We thought that was really sweet looking. A Corbin Carroll auto out of Topps Chrome. Always a good pull. So check this out. One jumbo box produced this Anthony Volpe numbered to 250 Blue Wave auto. That's like a $400 or $500 card. And then from that same box, we'll go to the next picture. The Vidal Brujan. This is the Taco Fractor. First Taco Fractor I'd seen in person. So hard to see. It's numbered to 5, but I know it's Vidal Brujan, but the 1 of 5 of this exact card sold for $242. So let me remind you that Corbin Carroll auto, that Anthony Volpe Blue 250 auto, and this Taco Fractor were all from the same jumbo box. And that's like $1,000 in cards from that one box. So that customer was happy nonetheless. Then the next card we've got is Out of Leaf Vibrance. This product is so nice. These are you get 2 cards a box. This was one of them, the Shaq Paladins insert, autographed by Shaq himself. The next one, check this one out, same box. Cal Ripken Jr., Ryan Sandberg, and Don Mattingly. 3 big-time Hall of Famers all on one card. Gorgeous card. Customer pulled that. We've got some more. So this is out of Chronicles Hobby Basketball. Might be hard for you to see, but that's a Luka Doncic redemption auto. So those Chronicles boxes can produce some pretty nice hits. Same product, different box, a little under the lights. We thought this is cool. A little Penny Hardaway auto. We've got so out of one of the Bowman Chrome boxes, Anthony Richardson, the Colts hopefully starting quarterback, an autograph of his. A couple of young men hit that, split a box and hit that. Peraza, one of those super cool parallel autos. That's a few $100 at least, I think, if I remember right. Customer sent me that. Numbered Gunnar Henderson. That is the blue. What do they call that? The radar, not the radar, sonar. If you look closely, it's got like the blue sonar.
Oh, that's cool.
Grid, the blue grid on it. So yeah, that's a pretty cool card. These ones like this that are posed like this, these are ones that customers send me, and I just chop the picture out and post it like this. So that's a numbered. Those are those case hits. That's Sammy Sosa. He's got a nice auto. So those cards are case cards. That one's numbered and autographed by Sosa. They do non-autographed versions. Here's Acuna. So those, like I said, they're considered case hits. So these are from two different cases, obviously. But that's never a bad one to pull when you pull Acuna. Another Corbin Carroll auto. So I probably, out of all the Topps Chrome we've seen opened, we've seen 2 or 3 Corbin Carroll autos at least. And there's another one. Michael Harris auto.
Nice.
I've seen a couple of his autos pulled out of this. I know he's been playing for a little bit, but this is considered his rookie card. And so a nice on-card auto of his. And that does it from the ones I got pictures of, at least. So just a few things, mostly Topps Chrome, since that was hot this week. Someone pulled a big Charizard today. I didn't get a picture of it, but one of the new big Charizard chasers. It's a pretty valuable card out of that new Pokemon product.
Nice.
We try our best
Josh.
to snap some pictures.
All right, Josh, let's take us out with crazy stat of the week.
I do have to pull this one up. I saved it to my phone just for this moment. I've been waiting all week. Little preseason football stat for you. You familiar with Sony Michel? He was a Patriot rookie.
Played for Georgia.
Yep. Recently retired. I don't know if you had heard that. He has already retired. So, and then you know Stetson Bennett.
Yep.
Also Georgia quarterback. So Stetson Bennett and Sony Michel were on the same team together at Georgia. Nothing unusual about that, perhaps. Says Sony Michel retired this week, which means Sony Michel was drafted in the first round, played for 4 different NFL teams, won 2 Super Bowls, and then retired, all while Stetson Bennett was still in college. I thought, boy, that's a crazy stat for this week.
That is a crazy stat. All right, guys, thanks. If you've made it this far, we appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let us know how we're doing. Leave a review.
Come see us at the shop.
Come see Josh at the shop. Buy some of that new product hitting the shelves. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Peace.